long before Rome, long before even the pyramids. Welcome to the Indus Valley Civilization, a 5,000-year-old society that may have been the most advanced of its time. When you think of ancient cities, you might picture ramshackle towns with dirt streets. But the Indus cities of Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro were designed with the same level of sophistication as modern cities. They had straight, wide streets laid out in a grid pattern, along with public wells and open spaces. Unlike the rest of the ancient world, every house was connected to a sophisticated sanitation system, something Rome wouldn't achieve for another 2,000 years. These carefully planned cities were not just centers of commerce, but also models of public health and organization. The Indus people didn't just build cities. They built them with modern conveniences we associate with 21st century design. Their drainage system is so advanced that even today, engineers marvel at it. Clay pipes, covered drains, and soak pits were found throughout the cities. The houses had toilets connected to the street drains via covered ceramic pipes. Even the public baths had their own drainage system. It wasn't just about convenience. It reveals a society deeply focused on hygiene and public health. Archaeologists have found evidence of garbage chutes in buildings, suggesting a structured approach to waste disposal. This makes the Indus civilization the earliest known to have had such a comprehensive and hygienic sanitation system. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Indus Valley civilization is the lack of palaces, temples, or any other structures that would indicate a ruling class. While contemporary societies like the Egyptians and Mesopotamians had monumental architecture showcasing the wealth and power of kings, the Indus people seem to have lived in a more egalitarian way. Instead of grand tombs or monuments for rulers, they had simple burials. Historians are still debating whether there was a king or chief who ruled over the city. The absence of these traditional trappings of power has led some to speculate that the Indus Valley may have been the world's first urban society without kings, perhaps a true democracy thousands of years before our time. Among the many fascinating artifacts discovered, seals made from materials like clay and ivory have captivated the attention of historians. Over 4,000 of these seals have been unearthed, bearing images of animals, gods, and abstract symbols. The script on these seals remains a mystery. Despite numerous attempts by experts, it has resisted all efforts to be deciphered. The Indus script is currently the oldest undeciphered writing system in the world. Imagine living 5,000 years ago and having a piece of history in your hands, but not being able to read it. It's like finding a book from the future and not having the key to understanding its words. The script could hold invaluable insights into the society, culture, and daily life of the Indus people. The fact that we can't read it adds to the enigma surrounding this advanced civilization. Perhaps one day a lucky archaeologist will stumble upon the Rosetta Stone of the Indus script, opening a new chapter in understanding this mysterious society. The Indus people were not only urban pioneers, but also masters of trade and craftsmanship. Archaeological evidence shows that they had a vast network of trade routes extending as far as Mesopotamia. They had a standardized system of weights and measures, indicating their proficiency in commerce. The Indus artisans were incredibly skilled. They produced exquisite jewelry, pottery, beads, and tools. Items were so precisely made that they suggest the use of advanced metallurgy and even surgical tools. These skills point to a sophisticated level of technology and specialization, rivaling the craftsmanship of later civilizations. The Indus traders were adventurous and far-reaching, connecting with civilizations thousands of miles away. Their commercial prowess played a vital role in the cultural exchange between different societies of that era. Without the industriousness of the Indus people, the flow of goods and ideas across such vast distances would have been much more challenging. The Indus Valley civilization was not just about towering cities. It was also a testament to the agricultural achievements of early humans. They successfully cultivated crops like wheat and barley in areas that are now part of India, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. This was a remarkable feat, considering the harsh semi-arid conditions of these regions. Archaeological evidence shows that they domesticated animals like buffalo and goats, providing them with a source of food and likely playing a role in their urban development. What's truly impressive is how they managed water resources. They built dams and irrigation systems to control floods and distribute water for farming. They harnessed the mighty Indus River and its tributaries to water their crops. This mastery of agriculture, allowed them to support large populations in their cities. The Indus farmers were innovators who defied the odds and turned arid land into fertile fields. Their techniques helped create the very foundation for the rise of urban civilization. The Indus Valley Civilization covered a massive area of 1.25 million square kilometers. To put that into perspective, it was larger than both Mesopotamia and ancient Egypt combined. At its peak, it stretched from the Arabian Sea in the south to the foothills of the Himalayas in the north. This vast expanse included parts of present-day India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Iran. Within this territory, archaeologists have discovered over 1,400 sites, each offering clues to the richness and complexity of the civilization. It was a civilization not confined to a single river valley, but one that thrived across diverse landscapes. From bustling cities to farming communities, the Indus people spread their influence far and wide. They were not just survivors, but active participants in shaping the ancient world. Their sheer numbers alone made them a dominant force, laying the groundwork for cultural exchanges and interactions with other civilizations of their time. Some seals depict figures that bear striking resemblance to Hindu gods like Shiva or Pashupati. This four-headed figure, often referred to as Lord of the Beasts, is believed to be an early form of Shiva, a key deity in Hinduism. The Indus script, though undeciphered, may hold further religious texts or hymns that shed light on their beliefs. Other seals show goddesses possibly representing fertility and nature worship. These early religious practices may have been the seeds from which later Hindu traditions sprouted. It's fascinating to think that these ancient carvings could be glimpses into the origins of one of the world's largest religions. Despite the size and longevity of the Indus Valley Civilization, almost no weapons have been found. There's no evidence of major warfare or fortified cities. This suggests that for most of its existence, the civilization remained peaceful. Instead of military might, it was a society focused on trade and urban planning. Of course, the absence of weapons doesn't mean there was no violence, but it does paint a picture of a society that valued peace and diplomacy over conquest. This is in stark contrast to many other civilizations of the time, making the Indus people stand out as a potential early example of a non-violent society. Around 1900 BCE, the cities were abruptly abandoned. There are several theories to explain this dramatic event. Some blame climate change, pointing to shifts in monsoon patterns that could have disrupted their agricultural way of life. Others suggest that the drying up of the Sarasvati River, a significant water source, played a role. Still, others propose that earthquakes or a combination of these factors led to the downfall of this advanced society. Intriguingly, some theories even involve a possible migration of the Indus people, with some historians suggesting a link to the arrival of the Aryans and the origins of the Hindu tradition. This last theory has been highly debated. According to the traditional view, the Indo-Aryan migration theory posits that the Indo-European-speaking people migrated into India around 1500 BCE. However, recent genetic studies have challenged this long-held belief. The findings suggest that the local populations in the region had little to no influence from steppe people, contradicting the idea of a mass migration from Central Asia instead. The genetic makeup of the Indus people showed continuity with later populations, implying that they either integrated with local groups or their descendants continued to live in the region. This challenges the traditional narrative of a sudden migration and points to a more complex and nuanced understanding of the region's history. The Indus Valley Civilization continues to yield new secrets. Sites like Rakhigarhi and Dholavira are still being excavated. In 2023, excavations at Rakhigarhi uncovered human remains that provided valuable DNA clues. The analysis revealed that the Indus people had no steppe or Aryan influence, rewriting what we know about Indian origins. This discovery supports the idea of an indigenous origin for the Harappan people and challenges the traditional narrative of a mass migration from Central Asia. As more archaeological findings come to light, our understanding of the Indus Valley Civilization is constantly evolving. The journey to unravel its mysteries is ongoing, promising to rewrite history as we know it. What's even more fascinating is that this civilization was virtually forgotten about for thousands of years before it was rediscovered by accident. In the 1800s, when British railway workers were digging a line in Mohenjo-Daro, They came across ancient bricks made from the same kill. What they didn't realize at the time was that they were handling artifacts that were 4,000 years old. These bricks were from the Indus Valley Civilization. It's incredible to think that these pieces of history were literally under our feet for so long. The idea that such an advanced society could thrive and then be lost to time is both humbling and thought-provoking. It serves as a reminder that there's so much of the past we may never fully understand. The Indus Valley Civilization remains one of humanity's greatest mysteries. Was it a utopia? A forgotten golden age? We may never know. But with every dig, the sands of time reveal more truths. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and explore more forgotten worlds with us.